I'm Lauren.
I'm David.
I'm Michael.
My name's Kyra.
I'm Andrew.
And this is Eyes
And Ears.
and More!
We're here from the Eyes and Ears Vegetable Farm, looking for a $50,000 investment to help us get off the ground and start a medium-sized vegetable farm. We are projected to pay off this loan within the next 2 years, and investing in us will overall have a positive effect on the community and help everyone get involved. We're going to be offering courses for grade 7 to 11 science and environmental classes to come down and watch the process of planting, growing, and harvesting our vegetables. This will give them a good opportunity to see how vegetable farms work and everything we do and what it takes to produce hardy vegetables. We'll be selling our produce at local food markets, as well as offering a $20 per week box program where people can buy fresh produce which is delivered to their houses each week. We will also be giving away all our unsold food to local food banks and the soup kitchen to help our community out.
Here at Eyes and Ears, we've decided to not use any insecticide, pesticides, or herbicides. Instead, we have our 4 ways to combat pests. The first way is a chicken coop on the edge of our farm, which we will run through our farm once a week to eat any insects that may be there. Our second way is a chicken wire fence that we will run along the edge of our crops. As well as keeping the chickens while we run them through, it will keep out small rodents like rabbits or rats. Our third way will be garlic at the edge of our fields, which will also deter rodents.
Finally, we have mother weeds. These are plants that will be left in the garden at the beginning. They help in 3 different ways. The first is insect management, which they do by either attracting beneficial insects or by distracting malicious insects from our crops. The second way is by providing ground cover with their leaves, which will protect the soil from drying out while our crops are still small. The final way that mother weeds are beneficial is by indicating soil quality. When some of these weeds thrive, we know that our garden is going to do well. These plants will be removed before they go to seed to make room for our other garden crops. If these 4 methods don't work, we have 2 different backup plans. The first is diluted hot sauce, and the second is soapy water, both of which can be sprayed directly onto problem areas to avoid the use of harmful chemicals.
Our buffer zone will also benefit wildlife, like bees, who will be able to pollinate in and around the farm. Also, our farm will not use any chemicals, so it will not affect any of the environment or wildlife native to the area. So the bees will be able to pollinate happily and the chickens to lay eggs.
We are planting our crops on a 5-acre plot of land on our family's farm. We are splitting up our crops into 3 lots of 150 meters by 33 meters, which we are going to rotate through year by year for the 3 years we have planned. As well, we have a thin line of asparagus, which we are going to plant on the southern end of our farm, which we will not rotate because asparagus takes 3 years to grow. Below the asparagus plants, we will have a buffer strip between the river, which will provide protection between our crops and the aquatic ecosystem. Our crop rotation will be in the order of heavy feeders to light feeders to soil builders. This is because heavy feeders will take up many nutrients from the soil, leaving only a few for the light feeders, which is all they need. And the soil builders will then build up the soil again for the heavy feeders after that. When planning our crop rotation, we kept 2 rationales in mind. Firstly, we avoided planting crops from the same family in the same plot within the 3-year plan. The nutrients we are concerned about that plants need to survive are nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. To avoid messing with the balance of these nutrients, we are avoiding using fertilizers and instead relying on a crop rotation to keep things in order. However, if we find that the balance of nutrients is not what we want, we will use natural fertilizer to rebalance it. East of our crops, we are going to have a coop for chickens, a well for water, and a shed for storing equipment. To fulfill our crops' water requirements, we will drip irrigate the top section of our plot and rely on rainfall and the southern-facing slope to water the rest of our crops.
At the bottom of our farmstead is a 31-meter buffer zone before the waterway. This protects the waterway from any run down from the field above it. The buffer zone consists of a row of shrubs, which we have chosen to plant berry plants. After 3 years, we will be able to sell the berries from these. In front of the berry plants is a mixture of herbs and flowers, which will do two things: provide extra income for the farm and also feed the 3 beehives, which we have placed in the buffer zone to act as pollinators for the rest of the farm and the surrounding area. The importance of a buffer zone is to prevent erosion, to stop any possible runoff from above it, and to create a habitat for local wildlife. Here we have our targeted planting and harvesting dates. All of the green squares on this calendar represent the different days when certain varieties of vegetables will be planted. The blue squares also represent the target dates for when schools will come for our community programs. On the opposite side, we have target harvesting dates. These will represent when all the varieties come to be ripe and can be harvested. Our basket program will run every week from the first harvest.
Now, to make money, you have to spend money. And in this case, the majority of our spending money is put into labor, because although you can do it yourself, it's a bit of a pain. So, we decided to pay each person about $12 an hour for 8 hours a day. This does equate to about 76% of our whole cost. Now, the next section to talk about is plants. So we need to buy the seeds for those plants, being our variety that we grow out here on Eyes and Ears, and that equates to about 14% of our total cost. After that, we're looking at equipment. We decided to stay away from the heavy machinery because we want to be less damage on the environment, and that's why labor is such a large portion of our cost. Things we do need to buy: shovels, hose, rakes, also a wheelbarrow. We're also going to take advantage of the fact that there's a till and a tractor already at our farm, owned by our family, which is going to help minimize our equipment cost. The main factors to the equipment cost is going to be the beehives we're buying, there's 3 of them, and the chicken coop, which is off-site a little bit. So that brings us to our market fees. Now, the 2 main contributors to the market fees are transportation to and from the farmer's market, and also the cost to have a stall at the farmer's market. Overall, this is going to give us a total cost of $49,103. And now that we spent money, it's going to make some money. So, as you see, our total income for the plants is going to be about $106,083, and our estimated expense is going to be $49,103. This leaves us with a total net gain of $56,980. Now, we said we can pay back this loan of $50,000 within 2 years because we don't necessarily know if it's going to be perfect weather. This is assuming we sell the majority of our crops. Things can happen. For that reason, yeah, we will be able to pay back our loan in 2 years. In conclusion, we hope that you invest in our project, the Eyes and Ears Farming, because it will both benefit the community and the environment.